Flosstube, good morning. Pam here, stitching between the lines. It's Friday, May 18th, and it's a very bright sunny day, even though, like weather bug said, we were going to have clouds all day. But anyway, I'm kind of trying to avoid the sun. You can even see the sun reflecting on the ceiling in my office, and there's lots of things going on. It's been so busy, so busy, so busy. My daughter successfully graduated from college last weekend, Sunday, Mother's Day, also my anniversary. Um, she graduated summa cum laude with the highest GPA in her school. So that was very exciting. Very, very exciting. She went to a university about 2 hours away from us and had a very successful time. Clearly, I posted on Instagram a picture. I will make an effort to insert it here. Picture one. We're trying to make, some kind of symbol so I know where to stop and pop the picture in. It was an exciting day. It was an exciting weekend. We had to go the day before for an award ceremony and spend some time with her. And the graduation, and it was rainy, 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 rainy. Moved her out of her apartment in the rain. All those things that aren't any fun. So, but it was, well worth it. Well worth it. So anyway, we've been busy with company. We've been busy with other things. This weekend coming up is solid packed. Way busier than I like it. So I am looking forward to, after this weekend and a little bit of next week is over, maybe things will settle down. Summer's usually a calmer time. Like one of my volunteer tasks ends for the summer, so we meet two more times. Monday coming up, and then 3 weeks, I think, because of Memorial Day, and then we'll be done for the summer. So that'll help. Anyway, stitching. We still stitch through it all, right? The sun shining on my glasses makes me keep thinking there's things on my glasses, so I keep doing weird things because I don't want you to think my glasses are dirty. They could be, but I don't think to the scale that the sunlight is making me feel like it is. I don't know. Anyway, oh my gosh, to some degree I've even forgotten where I left off last time, so I apologize for that sort of discombobulation. It's a sign of the times. Anyway, I see these things over here on my desk, so I'm going to launch right into my FFO Farmhouse Christmas, which I showed this one. This one for sure was done. And I have since finished this one, which would be the second one. FFO'd it, the second one, in just the same way. I just used different color beads. I'm digging through my bead stash. I have no idea what I ever stitched that used so many brown beads, but I did. This might be a black. I don't know what to call that. I kept calling it root beer when I was in my mind thinking to pick a black, pick a root beer, pick a yellow. So I just did the 3 colors because I felt like they were representative of what was going on in the stitching. I did not bring here to show you the third Farmhouse Christmas. I showed it, the stitching was done on my last video. What I think I wasn't done with was the quilt block, but that's downstairs. The first quilt block has been turned into an ornament. All these things have a bigger bow than I would normally think necessary, but because they're going on a Christmas tree. So with this one, I trimmed it in red beads. So, let's see. So anyway, I have those 3 done. I've changed my method for putting the border on. Not my method, sorry. I'm looking here for this one. I changed like how I was bordering it. I'm now doing 2 threads over 2, so it gives me a little bit more, yeah, okay. Gives me a little something more to grab onto when I'm putting the beads on. So the second ornament I have to do is the last one that is done with only 1 thread on the border, and it's very hard to see. So I gotta to make my way through that one before I can move on to the third quilt block and then the regular Farmhouse Christmas ornaments. But at any rate, if that any of that made sense, I have the fourth one done. I feel like, to me, it looks like washed out. I think it's just because it's so bright this morning. So fourth one is done. The fourth quilt block is underway. I will finish the fourth quilt block probably. I don't know if it'll finish today. Hopefully this weekend. I will get a little bit of stitching time. So after the third Farmhouse Christmas, sorry, I'm moving things and apparently that my iPad was resting on that. After the third Farmhouse Christmas, I was finally caught up because there had never been a gap in time between them arriving. So I just kept right on going. There was a little bit of time in between the third and the fourth. And this is the piece I intend to pick up between those is my winter sampler. Been working on it for a while, so it's not new for you all to see it. And I pulled it out, and I will try to put a progress picture number 2, in right here. To show you roughly where I was at when I picked this up. It's not an exact. I had a little bit more of it done than that. I had this problem when I had my blog too, is sometimes I am just working and I want to just sit down and work and I don't even think that I should have stopped and taken a picture. So then I like it's perpetual picture problems. At any rate, prior to starting at this time, I had all of this done. I had the snowman was done. Even I think the postcard was done, and I had started this picture. This Santa picture was the circle was done, and so this latest round, which I didn't have a whole lot of time to work on it. I got some of the inside of the picture of Santa done. This is Santa holding. It's probably the last tedious part of this picture, with Santa in his bag and lots of little things and lots of outlining the toys. So anyway, this last time around, I got a little bit of that done. I got the greens done, the popcorn and the beads and cranberries, and started on the gingerbread man. So I'm coming on down and starting to wind around the corner, and I'll work on him and then get over. So it really is moving along. And I will continue to work on that. I have to, put him back in the needle roll, or the roll here. Work on that in between Farmhouse Christmas. I always feel like I'm repeating myself, but I realize people don't watch all the videos, and sometimes they pop in at whatever's the newest and start watching. So I apologize if I'm repeating. Let me know if I've left something out. I forget, again, because I feel like I'm repeating myself, I don't say something and then realize that somebody's just popping in for the first time. So this is a project roll. I got it as a gift. It was a gift, not from Carolina Stitcher, but Carolina Stitcher is who made it, and somebody purchased it from her. And it is just perfect for this project that's on Ada, to keep those creases from continuing to create more creases. So I keep that in here. And then what else am I working on? I am currently working on, I just started. I've worked 3 evenings on another page of my Heaven and Earth design. It's still downstairs. I didn't bring it up. It is wrapped up so tight in a Q-snap. There's nothing to show you. It looks like anything. So that's just going to have to reside. And prior to working on that, I spent a month on my Let Freedom Ring, which I realized as I was gathering up things that I left the actual picture downstairs. I went downstairs to get it off the stretcher bars to show you and didn't even think about the pattern. So I will show you where I'm at. I really made some progress. Prior to this, picture number 3 right here. I will show you. I had the main part of the building done, and I had just the roof of the breezeway done, and just the tiniest, tiniest little bits of stuff around the roof. So I really buckled down and got serious about what I was doing. I worked and worked at finding a good setup for this, because these scroll rods are 36 inches, I think. And it's really hard to reach around and behind and under when it's that much distance. So I have bought a new lap desk that fits very nicely in my chair, and I can set the scroll frame on there and move relatively easily because the table gives it support. So the trees was the most dreaded part of the whole thing. Some people see the building and start to dread. For me, I was looking at the trees with dread. So I got half of them done, because the whole thing is mirrored again over here. I got those done, the building. This was fun. This was a fun part to stitch. I really enjoyed this part. And this, I hated doing this around. I have another one over here. I actually ended up off by 1x, so it's not as wide by 1x, and I didn't even do it. Didn't go back. And the rest went pretty quick. And it's surprising once you get going. The picture overall is huge, and the building is huge, but segments and pieces and parts really do move right along. So after I do my page of Heaven and Earth design, and probably spend a little time on a palette cleanser, I keep calling things, after I've worked on something so intensely I need a little something, I will come and start on the second half. Whether I do more than just the next the next whatever segment of the building, or keep going up, is yet to be seen. So while this whole half is done, I still have there's a piece of scroll that goes all the way across. I wanted to start over here and just go continuously working left to right, so that's not done on the top. But other than that, it's outlined. That whole section is done. I'm not sure, maybe I could consider this whole piece a third done. Maybe. It's hard to estimate accurately. So anyway, Let Freedom Ring got a nice long stretch of time. And there you go. So my palette cleanser between Let Freedom Ring and Heaven and Earth Design was this piece that I showed this pattern, I don't know, maybe in the winter. I got it off of Stash Unload, and geraniums are my favorite summertime flower. I say summertime because in the spring it's tulips and lilies in the early summer. Geraniums, though, bloom all summer. I always have lots of geraniums around the outside of my house. So I pulled this out. When I showed this piece back when I first got the pattern, or when I first picked up the pattern, what I had done is I wanted to try gridding, and I loved and hated it for various reasons. Mentally, I just don't need the gridding. I just don't need to have it gridded. I don't work specifically in the boxes. In something like this, leaves, having the boxes there was nice every now and again. But as you see, I've started to pull them out because I don't want to show the pattern. But this is crazy. Let me see if I can just show you a part of the pattern, just enough to talk about this. Okay. Can you see right here, there's some blank rows. There's 4, I think. There's 4 between the edge of this page and once you wind around to the other page. One of them, come in the picture. I see the pattern's reflection. One of the rows is in shadow, so you know where the previous, when you flip the page, what was on there. So the boxes of 10 by 10 include these 3 blank and 4th shadowy thing that you don't really stitch. So while I'm okay in my gridding on the first part of the pattern that's on the right-hand page, as soon as you cross over into the left-hand page, everything's off because of those blank lines that are counted in the 10 by 10, but you clearly stitch there. You don't just leave a big gap in your stitching. So the gridding on this pattern was pointless because, you know, it's going to be off from here on out. And like I said, I don't think, my mind doesn't think like that. It doesn't see the boxes and stay in the boxes. I'll use the boxes for counting purposes, but basically that's it. I don't need to see the grid on my fabric. So I've been stitching a whole lot of years before I ever even considered staring at, you know, breaking it down by boxes. So I won't be gridding anything. My Heaven and Earth design pieces on that magic grid fabric, which is 20 by 20. That's useful because of the complexity of that piece. But even it's 20 by 20, so it's only halfway useful. So, what are you gonna do? No Stitch Mania for me. I like watching the videos. I love watching what everybody starts. It's fun to see the intensity of, well, first of all, okay, so you know how Flosstube influences us to buy things because somebody will show a pattern? Well, they're showing 18 patterns, 31 patterns all at once, so it's like, holy cow. Control yourself. But it does give me the burning desire to start things, and I have this already kitted up, sitting in my plain view in a basket by one of my stitching chairs. So one day I thought, all right, let's just start it, which I didn't, but I pulled out the fabric and I saw right away that it needed, because it's a big long piece, I saw right away I needed to go take it to my serger and serge it. So I did that, but there's no stitches in there because once I carried it away from my chair and that moment passed and I worked on whatever it is I worked on, I really didn't need to keep going and start it. But it's all ready. I've serged the edges. It is ready to go. And then what else have I done other than shopping, which has been really frightening to some degree? I showed this purchase a while ago. I bought this when I went to Quiltville, and I decided they had lots of posters around of Victoria sampler patterns, and I love them. I love the winter scenes primarily, and I decided that I would purchase one. I've done Victoria sampler before, but I decided, and this is the one I decided. So I have since gone to 1-2-3 Stitch, I think, and ordered the thread kit, the fiber kit. That's so helpful because the fibers and threads are so, well, they're beautiful. And you just need little bits of this and that. And so one of the things, something like this, I don't want to just buy the fibers outright when you maybe only just need a couple lengths. Sorry, I am looking at the pattern. I was looking for a list of all the threads, which, how many times have I just turned the pages and I still haven't come up with it, which means I'm not turning a page. So there's things like Mill Hill beads, which may or may not be in there. Possibly it's not the bead kit, but some Krynic and some Gloriana and regular DMC and stuff. So now I'm curious. I am sorry, but I'm taking you on this ride with me to see what this other, it was two different thread packs. Oh yes, beads are in there. It's just, so you don't need that many, so you don't need to buy package after package of beads just to get these little guys. But there's Gloria, look at those. Pretty, pretty, pretty. I don't have fabric picked out for this, but I believe I will find something. I'm just not a big fan of this shade of blue, this like steel blue in fabric. So I'm not really sure. I would prefer to find something more sky. I don't know. So that's still up for debate. I bought it on Stash Unload. I was delighted. I have never, okay, lavender and lace, love them. I'm looking to see, because on Stash Unload they left the sticker, and I wanted to see, it's from the attic. So anyway, I bought it on Stash Unload. I've seen this pattern many, many times. Always like it. I like anything Santa Christmas. And this one, though, came with the threads. And I don't remember. They're, I don't remember. These are threads specifically for Told in the Garden patterns. Says it right up there. I do not remember ever having the option to purchase the threads. And it's not for everything. I think it's just the blues and the greens that are so prevalent in this picture. I believe it said there were 5 threads. I just don't remember that combination ever being available for Told in the Garden. So I can't even say how unusual it is or if you bought them separate. I mean, this is clearly packaged and stapled all together. So that'll be kind of fun. I had a little moment. Well, first of all, I don't even know which direction to go on this one. I have to show this. Andrea, are you watching? Turn away from whatever you're doing and look. This is your fault. 100%. I don't even look at the price because I didn't buy it that. I don't know what I paid. It was on eBay. I saw it on eBay. I've looked for it in every Joann's I've been in. I've looked for it online under Design Works. It's, you know, it kind of goes back to my geranium pattern that's Still Life. I just love the old kitchen things. And I have a small collection of rolling pins. Oh my gosh, we'll be deleting that out. My church is known for their pie baking, and if we have a dinner or a pie sale, people come from far and wide. People call ahead and ask if we'll have certain kinds, would we set certain things aside for them. So we really are known for our pies. If there's an older lady that passes away or she's not at the point where she can bake pies anymore, I always want a rolling pin. And I have a couple rolling pins from ladies I've admired at my church. So anyway, anywho, I got this, and the 8 is gone. I'm not working on that. I'm drawing the line. Have I said that before? Probably next time I open a kit, I'll just work on the 8 because it's there. And then, oh my gosh, besides that one, which I was dreaming about, I'm watching the sun. The sun is doing wild things up there. Everybody has a unicorn chart, right? Do you know what I mean? And it's not a chart of a unicorn. Everybody has their unicorn chart. The chart they've been watching for, wishing for, hoping they come across someday, or that they, have listed on eBay to get notification if it ever comes up for sale. I have a unicorn chart, and I've never mentioned it because a couple things. The hunt is fun. I don't want to say the next part, but I didn't want somebody to send it to me. It really is. The hunt was part of the fun. So I have been watching and I have been checking eBay and that kind of thing. But then since the designer is re-releasing many patterns, I really thought this one would be out earlier this year because it's a spring one, but it is out. I'm sure you all know when Priscilla and Chelsea mentioned it, I stopped their video and went shopping. And it was only on ABC Stitch's website. You could order it, but I knew they must not have it in stock yet if 123 Stitch had it as notify me when it's in. I knew it must not be in the actual stores yet, so I waited and then I saw it at Down Sunshine Lane and I popped it in my cart on Saturday, rainy Saturday, after we'd been at my daughter's school for awards ceremony and we'd done all kinds of things and we were just having a little downtime. And my downtime involved shopping on Down Sunshine Lane, where I purchased this because it's cute and it's summery and beachy. And this because we like it. I have the fall one and not the winter one. This one has a quilt. They may all have a quilt. I don't even know. And I repurchased something I already had, but I didn't bring that to show you because you know what that does. It kind of makes us mad. I need someplace like down Sunshine Lane to have a little something that alerts me, like Amazon does. If I buy something twice or put it in my cart, I get a little notification telling me I already bought this item once before and when I bought it. So I I need my favorite cross stitch stores to have that same option. So anyway, they don't. So I have two, so that may show up somewhere along the line here. And then does everybody know Lana, sorry, of Till the Last Stitch? You know, sweet, love watching her videos. She sent me a little something. I really thought I would have an opportunity to finish at least one of these into something so that we could all see, Mama could see that I was doing something with them. But she sent me some of her little pieces that she has stitched over the years and that she knew was a style I would like. Won't they be the cutest little bowl fillers or hanging ornament type pieces? They are beautiful. And the stitching, oh my gosh, and her backs. Oh, not that my backs are messy, but they can be. It's a possibility. So thank you so much. I sent an email to you, as I'm sure you know. And in this package also was a magazine. It's Stitcher's World from May 2004 with this would be a favorite right off the bat. And there's various patterns inside. We won't do a whole flip through, but also included ripped out patterns from various magazines. I believe maybe some of them are only the pattern. But there's this one. Let me take the sticky note off, which I'm very fond of. Isn't that cute? Such a cute little house. Cute. Let me just look. This, I love this. Isn't that cute? So I very much appreciate that. That was so thoughtful of her. Does everybody remember in Stitcher's World, excuse me, Fran Ortenmeyer's Frantics? I always read those. If there was nothing else in the magazine I was interested in, I always read Frantics by Fran. Enjoyed that. So I'm going to, I haven't done it yet, but I will read that again. I'm sure I read it once, but 2004, that was a lifetime ago, I'm telling you. Can't imagine I'll remember anything. And then she also included in the package these little ribbons and these little spools. They're so cute, so useful, so practical. I already found something along that this green lacy ribbon one matches. So these little spools, I bought a couple number of years ago at Joann's. In fact, I just used this black and white on something I showed last time. It was one of these little spools. I don't know if it's the same brand as Joann's, but they'll be on display sometimes at the end of an aisle. I very much appreciate especially the new stash of the black and white polka dots. There's two of them here. All of them. You know, little ornament finishes, little bows, especially bows. They make bows nicely. So thank you so much for those. That was so sweet of you. It's nice to be thought of like that. And I think I've actually made it to the end of my piles. I really honestly thought this was going to be like an hour long, and I wondered how in the world I was ever going to get it uploaded. So it's still iffy at half an hour. You never know. It will take me a while. That seems to be half an hour, 40 minutes kind of seems to be my standard time. But as I was thinking about this video, I kept thinking of talking about this, talking about that. And then this morning, I couldn't really come up with all the things I needed to talk about or thought I needed to talk about. My daughter is off at a job interview. Yay, look at her go. And we'll see if she should. She's so smart. She's so stinking smart. Have a job to go to in September, but she starts grad school on Monday. So she'll be doing that for the summer and summer work of some sort. She intends to go move in with her sister who lives closer to grad school and hopefully want a summer job. Neither of my girls are doing their summer camp jobs that they've done in the past. So that's fine. You outgrow that kind of thing. What else? I was going to make mention, and I forgot when I was holding the pattern, the Prairie Schooler pattern. I hope everybody has watched Kitten Stitcher's latest video. Today is May 18th, so it was in the last week or so. I just watched it last week, where she spoke about a Prairie Schooler pattern she bought on eBay, and could see clear as day, could see that it was a copy. It was done on good quality paper. It was, like the cardstock, but she could see where there used to be a price tag, and it was just part of the picture. It wasn't, an actual physical remnants of a price tag. And she could also see the crease. The pattern wasn't refolded on the prior crease line, so she could see that was a picture of the prior crease. And it just looked too pristine. This comes in this kind of wrapping, but back in the day, these did not come in that kind of wrapping. So, you can treat it as nice as you want, but there's going to be a little bit of evidence that somebody has handled it, and maybe some paper has a little crimp in it somewhere. So as she told it, she notified the seller and requested her money back. And at this point, I don't know what happened, but also saw that the seller had sold several more of the same pattern on eBay, claiming it to be the original cardstock pattern. And that to me is very alarming, that we as stitchers want patterns bad enough, yes, that we'll buy them on the secondary market. Obviously, I don't have a problem doing that on Stash Unload. But that we're duped, that we're really duped. I could have borrowed, there's a number of people I know I could have borrowed this from, and maybe one or two that would have allowed me a copy of it, which would have been not in my moral foreground, kind of thing, because that comes down to being an illegal copy. Not that somebody sold, but we really have to be... we have to give designers their due. And thinking, it only costs $10, how much of that really goes to a designer? Nobody's being hurt by it, but it's a whole cumulative effect of that sort of attitude, that a seller is getting away with that and making money off it. If somebody really needs a pattern that bad, there's plenty of people that'll loan it to you. We know we love our Prairie Schoolers. We're afraid to let our Prairie Schoolers and our Blackbird designs go out of our hands. But there's a whole Facebook group that is like a Blackbird design library that you can sign up, and you can check out a pattern and keep it. And it's all done with Blackbird Design's permission and knowledge. That you don't really need to do that. It's a shame. It is a shame. So anyway, I held out, I waited, I was confident this would come out again. I stitched, this village is done for each season, and I stitched it in the fall. I stitched the fall version, and now I have the spring version. I need to see, or someday, I don't know if I even have the summer and the winter. I don't even know what they have that might be the summer and winter version of this village. I'm not sure where I'll start. I don't have a particular affinity to chickens or anything, but I just think those chicks are as cute as can be. I maybe like this one the best. We'll see. We all know how I want to start all the things, kit them up even, but then I hold off until I don't have more than, I think I have 12 whips, which is like monumental. But some are big big things, and some are small things, and some are what should be quicker things. So 12 is nothing to some people. So anyway, we're going to pretend it's summery today, although I'm wearing long sleeves because it's really not that warm. I have some errands to do and a quick meeting to go to, and then I'm home to stitch, and then the weekend, all things start to happen again for the weekend, which is busy again. So I'm hoping everybody gets satisfaction out of your Stitch Mania, and that you're getting ready, gearing up. I'm watching the sun. Gearing up for some good time summer stitching, because that's really when I get a lot of stitching time. So anyway, I get a lot of stitching time anyway, so don't let me fool you. Have a good one. Have a good Friday. Bye.